Yeah, whatnot. Yeah, so we're gonna go back to Danganronpa right now. Just play some more. Last time, um, two people were killed by off-brand Optimus Prime, also known as Robo Justice, I think. It was some guy dressed in a hilariously, like a Transformers ripoff costume, and he or she killed Taka and Hifumi with hammers that look like toy hammers, but they're probably real hammers or something. And point is, they are seemingly dead now, but also their bodies are missing, so we're kind of fucked. We have to find where their bodies are taken. Thankfully this school isn't that big, so there's not that many places they could be.
Huh?
Where could two dead bodies have disappeared to? I don't know, trash compactor?
Damn.
We need to search for those bodies that have disappeared. What happens after that is up for debate. Well, huh? The door must be locked. Since when? That was unlocked, I seem to remember that. Yeah, we went in there and that's where we found a photo of... was it Leon, Mondo and Chihiro smiling together? Something like that. Okay. There doesn't seem to be anyone in here. That's fine. Anything else this way? There's two classrooms. Well, why would you... There's nothing in here. And there's Makoto.
Come on.
Why are you just standing there? We need to get to the repository. Huh? You mean?
Indeed.
I found them. Hifumi and Taka's bodies have both been hidden in the repository.
Goodbye.
I've already told Hina and Sakura. We'll go ahead. Their bodies were in the repository? Which is... where? What? Oh, come on. Is that the art room? The locked door. Don't tell me it's the locked door. Are the bodies here somewhere? That was locked just a second ago. Up ahead is the repository. Door turned. I guess it's unlocked. Then I have no choice but to go inside. That's weird. So I opened the door. And when I entered, I saw... the two bodies that had disappeared were right there. The smell of blood made me gag. What I saw before my eyes was unquestionable, unavoidable, unwavering reality. And then, I heard the announcement for a second time.
A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
Cool. And so here we are.
It's the Monokuma file!
Now, without further ado, let me give you all the next Monokuma file. I was going to hand them out when you found the bodies the first time, but I thought something might happen. It was really hard to resist, but turns out I was right.
Stop talking.
Just hand it over already.
Punishment is waiting for you.
Now, make sure to investigate with all your mental might and prepare for the class trial.
See ya later!
Well then, now that we've found the bodies, all that's left is to uncover the culprit.
What the heck?
Hold on. How can you be so calm? I mean, they're dead, you know?
That's terrible.
Dead. Gone forever. They're never coming back. Awful. This is all just too awful. Hina suddenly burst into tears. She clutched at Hifumi's lifeless body.
Who would do this?
Robo justice.
Why? Why?
Large, wet tears fell from her eyes. The tears landed on Hifumi's cheeks. If this was some world of make-believe, that might have been when Hifumi opened his eyes. But this wasn't the movie. I rise from the grave. This wasn't.
He's alive again?
Where am I?
Told you. I mean, told you like 4 days ago, but I told you.
Cold. So cold. Is winter coming?
Winter is in a perpetual state of coming. Just so you know.
Hifumi! Wake up!
Huh? Ah, that's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak.
Come on, you gotta wake up!
I remember everything. Before I met you all. I met you all.
His memories are blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us.
The light. It's reaching out to me like the tail of a comet.
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me?
Shouldn't we like try taking him to the medical office? You know?
That's right. I remember their name. Yasu. Hiro.
Never mind. His eyes closed, and they never opened again. Death for a second time. Absolute and undeniable death. Well, no matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones. At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of his way to return, just to leave us with these unnecessary dying words. Now this game has become exceedingly boring. He said, Yasuhiro, right?
Then perhaps...
Yasuhiro Hagakura. That is the only person he could have been referring to.
So in other words...
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people or even killing Taka Hifumi, and then going so far as to hide the bodies? A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hiro is?
What is this?
If it's true, I can't forgive him. No way can I ever forgive him. To kill two of our friends.
That's fine.
Anyway, it's about time we checked out the culprit in a little life for that game here. Yeah, anyway, it's about time to like solve a murder, you know, eat breakfast, have a little afternoon, like, you know, reading break, commit solve the murder, yeah, just the usual. Although, this time, it's not all that life or death, the trial will conclude without much trouble.
Indeed.
Yes, it does look that way. It's going to begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this, to make sure everyone survives. I just have to do it. First, I'd better check with the Monokuma file. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it?
Very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before. That is no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our own very eyes. We should know more about what happened than the Miracle faculty anyway. Maybe.
Well,
there's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while. Yeah, where the fuck is Kyoko? And Hiro for that matter. Are you talking about Kyoko?
Perhaps.
Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? Well, what happens if, for some reason, like 2 murders happen separately? How do we vote for 2 murderers, so do we just have 2 separate class trials? Like, what if, in this case, one of these guys was killed by, let's say, Hiro, the other was, let's say, Kyoko? What happens then? Who do we vote for? Is it a singular vote at the end? An accomplice? What are you doing here?
Monokuma appears!
Don't be rude. I'm here to answer questions. What question?
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? During the first class trial.
speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, 2 people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
so then.
So are you saying nobody worked together this time either?
Hey,
Sorry, can't answer that. It would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist in the murder. Only one blackened can graduate, an accomplice gets nothing.
So in other words,
Then we only need to figure out the one blackened is... who that one blackened is that did the killing, right? Just like normal.
well,
Okay, let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is
extreme!
the one true blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action. The true blackened? So just one person.
Well now,
That's enough for explain fine. Now it's time for the final battle between all of you and the blackened. Good luck to all the contestants. So there can be only one blackened. An accomplice wouldn't benefit. In fact, an accomplice would die, most likely. And then I can't see any way Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. You may be right. Is that true then? Kyoko, where are you?
however,
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation.
indeed.
God, I need a drink, sorry. No. Not a drink. Water, specifically. I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible, but for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information.
So,
You know, don't you think we should consider certain someone a suspect, just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack. Offended? How did she get here and when? When did you? I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found. Anyway, you there, milk sack swimmer girl.
Huh?
Milk sack?
You gotta be kidding!
Why do I gotta be a suspect?
What the heck?
Well, I mean, you are a serial killer.
What?
So what? I'm like a special guest suspect every time? I have an alibi, you know. She's, right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. And when the bodies disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body.
Yep.
Besides, I calculate every move I make. One girl kills someone when everyone knows what I look like. They don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
That's not the kind of thing you should be talking about, you know?
Let's see.
On another topic, should we pause to guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again.
So then...
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina? Sure, I'd be totally useless on the investigation anyway.
It's all clear now.
Then that's that. Let's begin. This whole thing is so strange. All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who we did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems. Someone was running screaming outside. Okay, I think we have the hammers. There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall, although some are more like mallets. Mallets? Could the Justice Hammer have been designed using this as a model? Either way, all the hammers here have obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone and powder. Wait. For some reason, this one hammer isn't dirty at all, and it's wet. Did someone wash it recently? And also, like, there seem to be 1, 2, 3, 4 missing. So, you know, there's that. Could be just a hammer 1, 2, 3, 4. Always explain things. Oh, well, this is 4, you know. Anything else around? It's a trolley, which is how the bullets were moved. It's a dolly, it doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the Ultron before. I guess it's used to move statues around. It's kinda awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. Huh? Well, wait. But wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? And look at the wheel. There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that? The bodies were moved with the dolly. That's the explanation, but don't tell anyone. Okay, nothing there. Nothing there. Okay.
So,
Hey, Makoto. I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. Huh? What is it? After Hifumi and Taka's bodies disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together.
But
And we came right to the repository to, you know, look around. When we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. It was locked? And we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. So if that's true, then who locked it? And why is it unlocked now? I wonder the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in there. But I probably have to leave this area and figure it out. Unless you find a key. Or somebody. There are many aspects to the incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened.
So then...
Would you like my help? Sure. Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search. As soon as we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor. I quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Gotcha. Based on the pictures Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was a Robo-Justice. It also became clear that this Robo-Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costume assailants. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor and resumed our search. But not long after leaving the nurse's office... What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something moving around at the top of the stairs. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back up to the 2nd floor where we split up and began searching. Then right after that... Celeste screamed. This time she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. And then... What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi! He's in the nurse's office! This is bad. Come on, we have to go back! At that point, we decided to split up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect up on the 3rd floor. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse, which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what has happened. But at that same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room, which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time. Because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement played right after finding Taka, and that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you, me, and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body has disappeared. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was, in fact, gone. Then we remembered we had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something? This time, Taka's body had disappeared, so from there we began our search for both of the missing bodies, and after some time, Celeste told us she'd found the bodies and we all headed to the repository. And there we discovered the 2 bodies that had apparently vanished. And that brings us up to now.
However,
looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back at the case again, just let me know. I'm fine anytime. You know what? I hate to say this, but Celeste seems suspicious. She seems to always be like the first in everywhere, and always know stuff and direct us around. But don't take my word on that yet. Byakuya, do you think he really did it? I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had another alibi. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died, yeah, he said Hiro's name.
So in other words...
Then, there is no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with the red costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. I mean, he is kind of dumb. Yes, he is dumb. But do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
What?
Is that it? That's all that bothers you about the case? Well, no. There are a few other things. Like why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured that if he couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation. Well, if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Class trial. Evidence. The culprit was a moron. It must be hero. There's no other explanation left. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why did they bother killing 2 people?
What?
Because all the rules say is, if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? Sorry. So, if you're a killer, your number 1 priority is not getting caught. But killing 2 people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out.
I see.
Hold on. Perhaps, I see. So that's what that means. Is everything okay?
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we are friends. Huh? What's with the attitude? Well, you have my appreciation.
Goodbye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he figured something out. But if he did, would it have killed him to tell me where he was? It would have literally killed him. Like he would just collapse right here and die. Taka. He'll never move again. According to the Monaco file, Taka died from a blow to the head. He found the Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? There's a tar plate on his body. Did the killer use it to move Taka's body? That way, there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. But the trolley was also used somewhere. So, you know. Hifumi's big, cold body is laying on the floor. He's really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move it somewhere so big? The nurse's office where he was discovered, to here, the repository. All the way from the 1st floor to the 3rd, and all without anyone noticing it. How the hell? It's a moment. I just don't get it. I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Yes. Probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Wait. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something like Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it. His glasses. When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. But now, they're completely clean. Does it mean someone wiped his glasses off? Well, who would do that, and why? Hifumi's glasses has been added to the Truth Blood section of your handbook. Cool. There's only one way in and out of this room, through the door that Hina said was locked before. There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from in the art room. The door can only be locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies. And the door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside the repository. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone in the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims that there's no way someone could have beaten them to the repository. So that said that someone... There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There are some places I already knew about. First, the nurse's office, where Hifumi was found. Then, the equipment room, where Taka was found. Seem like obvious places to tell it. Yes. Okay. Let's see... I think, yeah, the repository is, the equipment room is closer to it, so let's go there. God, this is the most confusing layout floor so far. It's like a giant U. It's a U-turn, but there's also like little like flaps here and there for no reason. What sort of floor is this? I don't think the architecture of this building makes any sense. It just doesn't feel coherent. Which is not an issue, but just saying. Okay, here we go. Justice Hammer 4. The weapon that was used to kill Taka. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here. There's some kind of tire mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me, we bought a dolly in the repository. That was blood on its tire. Could the blood have come from here? Which could mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using dolly. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been possible. Equipment room bloodstain has been added to the true blood section of your handbook. But even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Even with the dolly, there's no way to get up to the 3rd floor. That's still a total mystery. This tarp. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, and just recently too. Yes, you know, in the repository, where you just noted that there was a blue tarp under the body, which was bloodstained, which meant the body was carried there. Wait, I'm not gonna continue, but you get it. I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away. I'm super pissed. I missed such an ultimately rare event. Cool. That was useless. God fucking damn it. Just turn back on. Please, just turn back on. There you go. Let's go to the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Who builds a corridor like this? Why? Why would you do that? Like, I've seen schools with narrow corridors and weird layouts, but this is just beyond reason. Exhaust. Okay, anything in the freezer? The fridge. The refrigerator. I wonder if there's anything to drink inside. After everything I've been through, I'm totally parched. Maybe just a quick peek. There's a bunch of old packets in here, of blood transfusions, I guess. Doesn't have me though, as a vampire. You do know Meko to live. Okay, never mind. No. Okay. He wanted to drink. It's fine, I get it. I'm not stupid, yeah. It's just an normal trash can. Wait, there's something inside. It's too small to be a handkerchief. It's a glass cleaning cloth. It's got some kind of cartoon character on it. But it's also covered in blood.
Oh.
Oh, did you find something? Yeah, there was a cleaning cloth in the trash can.
Huh?
A cleaning cloth? And it's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe some blood. But who would need to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. Yeah, me either. Well, I think it might be important. Gloss's cleaning clothes have been edited. That's true. Okay. I'm not sure why I'm reading that. It's just like mechanics. God. Justice hammer free. The one that was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body, but left the weapon behind. Yeah. What are you investigating, Celeste? I am not investigating anything, precisely speaking. I am simply going around seeing if Hiro might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Well, you know, I'm just checking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body.
Let's see.
How Hifumi was moved, eh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes, indeed.
Correct. Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. And when you got back, the body was gone? We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then, the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in a short amount of time.
Indeed.
It would seem so. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... I can't think of it as anything less than impossible. You know, who's also suspicious? Shut up, okay? But also... Hina was both at the nurse's office when Hifumi's body disappeared, and at the repository when the bodies were moved in there. So could she have something to do with it? I don't know. But also both times someone was with her. So either all three of them are in another murder, which is a bit strange. But also... yeah, so either all three of them are in on it, or she has an alibi. So this is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have? I wanted to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hero's room. Oh, and let me give you this. It's been writing call. This is the note Hiro wrote to get us all to meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression.
It's all clear now.
Anyway, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is? Things grow ever more exciting. What are you talking about? I've already paid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation.
Goodbye.
You are fucking weird, Byakuya. So he said to go to Hero's room, but what's waiting for me there? I don't know. Let's go to Hero's room and check it out. Maybe that's a good idea? Who knows? Some screen tearing, because that's fun. Okay, Hero's room. Nope. Nope. What happens if I check out like Chiko's room? The door won't budge. It must be locked. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Hero's room. Where does Hero live? Way down here, right? Yeah. The door is unlocked. I guess I can go inside. Byakuya did say to give a look. It might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge. This is Hero's room. There's all kinds of weird stuff in here. Where did he even get it all from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up, which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? I silently checked the bathroom. There's nothing in here. It's pretty grungy though. How does the bathroom even get this dirty? By not cleaning it? It's a normal bed, pretty much like just like the one in my room. Yeah, but there's no bed sheets. You know that. It's... oh, never mind. There is a tiny one on there. I think there's something in the cardboard box. It's blueprints for something, and some things made out of, it looks like cardboard, plastic and plaster. Is this Robo Justice? And it's in Hero's room. Oh wait, these blueprints, something about them bothers me. After we've established that Hero has Hero writes in perfect like serif fonts, having a crude comic sense like just like scribble on there. What might be the difference? So there's only thing left is the door? Is that it? Is that all I could check out? Okay. Makoto, big news! Big news! What's wrong? We found Kyoko. What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news.
Just a second.
Robo Justice showed up too. Robo Justice? It's Hero wearing the costume.
Okay.
Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor. To think Hero and Kyoko will turn up at the same time. Anyway, I have to head up to the pool. I ran up to the second floor as fast as I could. Good, I don't have to walk back there. I was worried there for a second. Hello there, tiny ant people. Could I join you? Kyoko, and...
I mean...
Phew, man, I have had the worst day. Hero? God damn it, what the fuck are you doing? Hero?
Huh? Oh, hey, Makoto.
Yeah, duh. Who else would I be? That's a good question.
Huh?
What? Why do you look like this? Whoop. Did someone come along and remodel me while I was sleeping? Was it the Illuminati? Did the Illuminati come along and remodel me in my sleep? What the fuck?
Right.
I found Hero. He was jammed into the pool room locker. It looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up.
Don't be mean.
I still can't believe you kicked me. You could have been a little more gentle about it. Like, I don't know, caress my face or something.
What?
That's creepy. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden without a trace.
Wow.
There was something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. I can't never mind.
It's nothing.
Never mind.
Hey,
More importantly, she says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for a mastermind?
and?
First of all, Hero, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that.
I mean...
Well, I mean, I have no idea. 1 second I was asleep, don't even know how that happened, and I woke up and I was here. I don't care. Do something about the costume, it pains me just to look at you.
Huh?
Well,
Let me out of here!
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? Very good question, Celeste. Wait,
You got it all wrong!
I didn't make a stupid freaking thing.
It would seem...
There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. You don't really have a choice, let's have him. It took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get Hero out of the suit. Took a few minutes, but eventually we got all the pieces off. Ew, free at last. Isn't it kind of weird how perfect this suit fits Hero?
So then,
More to the point, nobody but Hero would be able to wear the costume. Wait, what? Hold on a sec.
honestly,
Don't bother trying to act innocent. The blueprints were in your room as well.
is that okay?
In other words, it is obvious to everyone that you made this costume. That's true. I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too.
Could it be...
And it's obvious. The one who put this costume on and went around attacking everyone
That's terrible!
was Hero. Shall we tie him and gag him?
Just the worst.
Good idea. We wouldn't want him killing anyone else. Tie me up and hold on, guys. I think that's going a little far.
That's right.
He may be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Yeah, I mean, attacking blueprints? I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
What the heck?
You can't talk your way out of this, you know. It's been decided. You killed them. Oh, killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be a fake hero running around.
What are you saying?
You are the only one who can wear this costume, so who else could possibly be the costume attacker?
What the heck?
How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try them for yourself before you convince me.
Okay.
Fine, if you're gonna be a jerk about it, I will. Without missing a bit, Hina started putting on the Robo Justice costume.
Huh. See? Look. See how loose it is?
Uh-huh.
I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me!
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
Can Optimus Prime bend at the waist? I'm tempted to Google that, but I'm gonna.
That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hero could have fit into this dumb costume.
In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again. Well, now you have all out of excuses. No, see, it's because you're a girl. If it was another guy, then Makoto, go ahead. Okay. Fine. Against my will, I picked up the pieces of the floor and tried putting them on. It's no good. The arms are too long. There's no way I can wear this.
Just a second.
See? I told you it was impossible. You are absolutely right. It seems this costume was made to fit Hero's body exactly.
But...
Then there's another costume. They must have one that looks the same but fits them.
Honestly.
If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence.
what the heck?
Evidence? You claim there is another suit, yes? Then you must find it and show it to us. What the heck?
Just the
Who
worst.
cares? He was the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway.
That's terrible.
Which is how we know it was him.
What?
I mean, is that really true? I have no idea what's been happening. Could someone like tell me? Yes.
What the heck?
If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured that out that someone's been killed, right? Hey Makoto, who was it? Well, 2 people were killed, Taka and Hifumi. What? 2 people?
Just the worst.
Why are you freaking out? You did it. I did not. Wait, hold on. If those 2 are the ones that were killed,
How about that?
that's it. I know who did it.
So then,
You may as well tell us then. Taka and Hifumi were fighting over Alter Ego, right?
I'm at least 30% right.
Which means Alter Ego and / Chihiro must have done it.
correct.
I see. That's unfortunate.
Please.
Unfortunate?
What the heck?
Stop trying to trick us. Just admit that you did it, okay? I'm telling you, you got it all wrong.
Oh, so then.
I know. That note. Note? Last night, someone left a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole. Maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 AM. Well, the last thing I remember is going to the rec room, then for some reason I fell asleep.
Hey.
The real killer probably drugged me or something.
Just the worst.
No chance.
So,
No, hold on. He could be onto something. The nurse's office did have chemicals that could do that. Really? I told you, someone's trying to set me up. A secret passage, a chance to escape. Someone will let you drug me. Even if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to buy every piece of bread that floats in front of you. Well, after being trapped here so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? They preyed on my desire to get out of here. They deceived me. The bastards. I still don't buy it.
Don't be mean.
Well, you should buy it.
Just a second.
Okay, then show us that note. With pleasure. I have it right here in my pocket.
No way.
Looks like I lost it. Sure.
Please.
You gotta believe me. I wouldn't hurt a fly. As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must produce evidence. Can you show us the notes? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. What the heck? A serious? Now then, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it.
What the heck?
Why? Why did you kill them? Tell us, hero. No, it's like I said.
Just the worst.
Was it really to get the money molecule off of us? Yeah, that must be it. You must be totally broke, and that's why.
Please.
Why do you care? You're in a fucking school where people murder each other. Why do you care about money? Wait, that's a false accusation. Someone, help me.
What are you saying?
Just be thankful we haven't bound and gagged you. Just put him back in the costume. There, same thing. If you have time to yell and carry on, you have time to search for your evidence, right? You're right. I need to look for a second suit on that notes. Feet, don't fail me now. Whoosh. I guess I better get back to the guard duty. I was gonna ask Toku at Genocide Jack to switch with me, but if she and Sakura got into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on our hands. Well, bye-bye. One by one, everyone peeled away.
Makoto.
Makoto, do you have a second? I want you to help me with the investigation.
It would seem...
It looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping. Well, can you promise me something? Later, when we have time, will you tell me why you disappeared?
Why is that?
No. To reject me so simply.
Anyway,
I need your help. You don't mind, do you? Okay, fine. Whatever, just...
shall we go?
Thanks. Now then, shall we?
Hey,
So, Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses. Examine the corpses. I can't believe I'm hearing that from a girl the same age as me. Sure.
correct.
Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth, far more easily than the living.
Hey,
Wouldn't you agree? How am I supposed to answer that question?
anyway,
We have to hurry, before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay then, show me where the bodies are. They're in the repository. Then I guess we should head away for now. Just gotta have to all of these shitty corridors. Also, just gonna mention this. It's confusing how when you go up the stairs, you don't start like you don't start like this, you know. Yeah, like here's where you start. You know, you start like looking this way, which makes things confusing a bit. Okay. Hifumi and Taka. For the moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid, but only for a moment.
so then,
Well then, let's get started. She crouched down next to Taka without hesitation and began poking and pulling the bodies.
I knew it.
The monocle file was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth. She was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more comfortable. That's good.
I see.
Hello, I found something. You did? Oh my god, no.
Hey,
Yes. You will remember the wristwatch Taka always wore in his last hand. He did?
Whew.
Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? That's not it. What if you just don't look at their wrist? Is it so strange that someone would not be like looking at someone else's wrist? It's not like he was checking the time all the time, or like, well, it was like he was checking the time too often, like, yeah, I guess it's 6 PM now. That's not it. Anyway, so you said he had a watch?
So then...
Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? It most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. If you notice, the hands are frozen at just past 6 o'clock. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just over 6.
That's right.
But last night, Taka's watch was definitely wasn't broken. Hey, you! How long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced at the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
In other words...
So, if it broke at 10 last night, it couldn't have broken at 6 PM. Meaning, it must have happened at 6 this morning.
However...
And that's not all. Is it not? Okay. Look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be gripping something. You're right, there's something white in there.
Makoto.
Can you try and find out? I'm entering, but also quite ask a question after that. I know we really like shock and all that jazz, but how did we notice, like, him holding a piece of paper? Me?
Because...
Rigor mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? Okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grabbed Taka's cold hand. The ice-cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. A piece of paper?
Hey.
Was that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
Is that right?
I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's body.
So then...
Let's check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he left us a few clues of his own. So, did you find anything?
Indeed.
I did. More than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. What a paper.
That's right.
There's a lot of commotion going outside in the hallway for some reason. I'm not sure why. What time is it? It's 1:30. Don't know. Yeah, he thought we had it hidden on him. Hidden?
Indeed.
He stuffed it in his pants, so I can only assume he hid it on purpose, you see? In his pants? Wait, so you...
Why is that?
It was just his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means.
Hey.
Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto, open it up. When I think of how he was stuffed in his pants, it's like, it better be important for me or I'll never forgive you over this. A note. I found the hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's wait till the activate at 6 AM.
So...
That sounds very familiar. That's it. It's the same thing Hiro said. And he was telling us the truth.
However...
No, it's not exactly the same, is it? Last night, someone said a weird note on my door. Here's what it said. I found the hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 AM. The time is different. Hiro told us he's also to meet them 1 AM. But they know they wrote Hifumi asking to meet at 6 AM.
Is that right?
Hold on. Just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him.
So...
Part of it has been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. There's some meaning to the part of it being ripped. Could you maybe explain a little more? Think carefully.
Hey.
Why would he have been clutching that scrap of paper so tightly? I have no idea.
So then...
What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if there's something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer.
Hey.
What? Cool. And while we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The 2 victims this time definitely had the e-handbooks on them. So the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think that they were cuts to killings in the first place. So you're saying you don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
Is that right?
If you didn't have time to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was that they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. A handbook may play a role? I don't think I understand. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I better keep it in mind. Cool. Finally.
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin!
This is gonna be good because I don't have to talk anymore. As much. I have to read all the explanation.
Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school.
Cool.
See you soon.
It would seem...
It's unfortunate, but I suppose this investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure out the rest of it for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right.
Shall we go?
Well, we better get going. Okay. Everyone had got a Havoc proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. As soon as we were all there.
Monokuma appears!
Hello, hello, hello. He's multiplied.
Wrong.
No, not multiplication, it just loses because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast that it looks like I multiplied. Just like the Olsen twins. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy, tough crowd.
You are not playing along?
Stop talking.
We are not here to play with you.
Okay.
Okay, it's fine.
Hey, hey!
Then, if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train. Elevator. Same thing. I see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please!
Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You will never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, Hiro. You're gonna pay for your sins.
What the heck?
I told you already, I didn't do it. It was serious. That reminds me. Did you ever find the other costume or the notes? Well, no, but... unfortunate. They will see we have our culprits.
Hey.
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the two that lost their lives. For for the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka, the one who killed the two of our friends, the killer is... someone right here. Yes. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk towards the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. How many? Like, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of us. There's 8 of us left. Jesus. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator door was still open, opening up onto a cruel fate. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. This school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only because of you. Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other? What? You don't hate me so much? I'm so cute.
Come on.
Your right half is cute. Your other half is kind of creepy. Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the extra packed cluster after this commercial break. I'd never hold that on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. Deadly judgment, deadly deception, deadly betrayal, deadly riddle, deadly defense, deadly glass trial. Yes, save, please. Okay. Now. I think I have, let's see, I have attentive influence, which gives me more influence gauge, that's good. I also have a neural liberation. The focus gauge decreases more slowly during the concentration and fever time, effective during the non-stop debate, the Hemingway's gambit, and the bullet time battle. Cool, and I still have 5 left SP left. Handiwork allows you to reload 2 bullets at once, effective to the bullet time battle. Nice. I could use all my perks. Great. Gotcha, yeah. E-handbook. Reports, let's see what we have. We have a file, which is just, 2 blows to hand. The blue top that has bloodstains on it, on Taka's body. The dolly has blood on the wheels. Ifu's glasses were white. The hammers, one of the hammers was washed and disposed last now. The door was locked, obviously, and it can't be locked from the inside. The equipment and bloodstain had wheel marks, which is for the dolly. We found a glasses cleaning cloth, which was bloody, in the trash bin in the nurse office. Celeste, yes, he was already disappeared, and Celeste now only left the nurse office to use the bathroom. Yeah. Yeah, hero's message. The blueprints, which have different fonts on them. Cool. The costume, which only Hero can fit in, and it has a lock on the back. Hero received a mysterious note last night. Yeah, find a hole and maybe we can. Yeah. Taka was killed at 6 AM, according to Spoken Dispatch. Killed. Taka had a scrap of paper. Hifumi had another note which said equipment room at 6 AM. And it is believed that no handbooks were involved in carrying out the murder system. Okay, cool. Good. No, okay. Let's do this.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it!
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found it in that suit.
Don't try and deny it! You killed them!
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
That's image is just like a
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
I mean, you should say that.
Who are you calling a murderer?
I agree with you.
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprint for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know!
Is Hiro really the killer, or if anything else, we have to make it clear. Costume, message, blueprints. Let's load the...
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Okay, let's see. I didn't...
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Okay, let's try using...
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all...
That's...
No, it's wrong.
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
No.
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
Yes.
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as
I
well.
hope he is. As dumb as he is, I can't like him.
What?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course, he passed it off to me.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
The suspicious individual in the question, the one that I must have in the suit, was... Here, Illuminati. It was the Illuminati. All of them in the suit. Just one suit.
I got it!
It was Hiro.
Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
That's easy.
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Yes. The thing that were used to move Taka's body, they must have been the blue top and then the dolly. There's still one more thing. Yeah, the dolly. Dolly. Which is...
They were
a dolly and a top.
and a tarp, right?
Yeah. What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was
Oh shit.
It was the same
Sorry.
tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room.
I should just not mess with the controller.
So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body.
Oops.
That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
Makes sense.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right?
Yes.
But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Yes.
Huh? Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room?
We have
when you
wheel
found
marks.
Taka's that dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong, and nobody expects much from you anyway. We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
I was instrumental in some of the previous two murders. So yeah, there's that. Wow, I never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. Or maybe I can change her mind. If I could just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved to the repository. A new element has been into the bullet time levels. Would you like to hear more? Sure. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time level, you're gonna add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen underneath the tempo marker, you see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit to how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just looking at and pressing the Y button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you one bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements no matter how long you are. However, you can reload by pressing the X button. Just like locking on, you have to press the X button in the time of the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that the X button now has a function along with the A and Y buttons. It will auto reload at the start of the feeder time, ammunition will not decrease. Oh, but if you actually figure this stupid channel, you will... Okay. Oh no.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool.
So you have to do those like that's the right.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree.
Good. That was surprisingly not that bad. I'm so sure. Yeah.
This should prove it. If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread.
Yeah, I feel like so that's gonna be the better because, like I said, she was in both. Like she was the one who get us all around the school. Also, she was the one she really like want to admit such one thing like using a dolly, and also she's the ultimate gambler. The prize was $10 million. That could affect her.
The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jesus, so that's really hit me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look at how the body was moving, it'll look clear why a person next to had done it. What does he mean by that? It's gonna suit like you can't build by the waist. Costume. We need to stay in a costume.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
Yes.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
You can't. Because it's shit.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together, remember?
I'm blind as a bat in here, can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. Not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance that the costume was taken off to actually move that body because once it's on, you can never take it off. You can't do anything by yourself. This is a lock on the back.
I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I know, what's the weirdest thing about I can't actually get it off? A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? Why did they make this stupid freaking thing? There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. You really have a choice. Let's have him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right!
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
Thank God we have absolved Robo Justice of any suspicion. I was really worried there for a second that Optimus Prime was going to kill some people.
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice. That's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
So...
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something moving against the wall of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that...
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was walking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and he disappeared.
And then...
Oh. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... He fooled me. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor, to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
We did not see that. Nothing happened. Everything is fine with my posters. They're not falling off the wall, I think.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body had disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing.
Yes.
Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them no matter what. This is a good song. I like it. It's gonna be the book of research.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3.
While Taka's dead.
Oh, I guess speaking of the video, okay, that's good.
So, regarding, I wonder if, or perhaps it was, we already know what order Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3.
This is harder than it seems.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Good.
So, regarding, I wonder if, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in.
Good.
Taka came last.
Good.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
There you go. Me? No.
Shoot.
Shit.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the number.
It's true that Hifumi, while Taka's dead.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
It's gonna be this one, the first one, right?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
No.
Shoot.
I'm gonna check these. Hero's message. What's Hero's message? And what's one of your file number 3? Both kills single weapon, blow to the head.
I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
We have to scan something.
Perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3. While Taka's death came from a...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding, I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
Okay.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3.
Just give me that shot, please.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Yes.
So, I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
So that's okay. That's it. It's the most confusing part isn't the logic itself. It's just what the developers wanted me to say
There's no reason to assume
to
that
which
the hammers were used in
thing.
the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
I think the first Taka was killed before Hifumi. I feel like that was something. Yeah, watch. Where's the I? I need the A too. Oh no, I have to get the I first. Where's the S? Give me an S. Give me an S. Oh, never mind. I wasn't. Good. T. W. No, what? Shit. I don't. Just get me back to the fucking thing. Yeah, it's obviously not getting the shot. Just god fucking damn it. It's because the ladders are on top of each other, so you can't really shoot them precisely, you have to shoot them fast as time is running out, so it's just fucked either way. W, please go W. Yes. R. No, I have it. I need an I, sorry. Good. S. Good. D. Press D. W. A. T. No, get that. Just give me a T. There you go. A. No, C. And an H. Come on, just move out of the way. There we go.
Now I understand. I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night...
Hey, you. How long are you gonna keep us waiting? Taco says the voice beats the air as he started pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Well, are we?
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body. That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
I'm confused.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
Thanks for the compelling argument.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's a good question.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time. It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
Teleportation.
What? How? If the dead body were to move itself.
Yeah, Hifumi was still alive.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another...
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
We know that he was still alive.
He was alive?
Yes! He was there when he woke up for a brief
Are you
moment.
saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
What? The idea that he was still alive is it really possible? Everything the bloodstain, Celeste's account. What is Celeste's account? Hold on.
Are you saying...
What is Celeste's account? Is it that, yeah, the body disappeared by Celeste and I have to go to the bathroom. Whatever there's two.
There's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna have to scan something, I
Are
think.
you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
Yes.
It is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Never mind.
Shoot!
Shoot.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office,
Yes.
there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No.
Shoot!
I don't get it. Like, I never get these. What
Are you
am I
saying
supposed
that
to
when we
fucking
first
say?
found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery of Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that?
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
I have seriously no fucking clue what I'm supposed to do here.
Shoot! Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office,
There's a chance he... No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body with Hifumi's dead, and that is...
Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
I have one
are
other
you saying
thing.
that when we first found Hifumi
Hifumi in the nurse, there's a chance he... No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
That's it. God, oh, fucking hell. I hate these. I mean, I love the style of them, I just can't figure them out.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
There wasn't 3 of us in the nurse's office, right?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Which means, even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
The second body discovery announcement, the first time it played was when we found each body out in the nurse's office and they gave it to him. The second time was when both bodies were discovered.
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Yeah.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Yes.
And in
Correct.
reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet.
Maybe we should have checked for apples. Just throwing it out there, you know. And treat his wounds.
Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events
The
surrounding
glass
the
wipes.
discovery of his
He
body.
wiped his glasses, threw it out, and then...
Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows he was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. Glasses!
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
Yes.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
Yes.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Yes!
No, it's wrong.
Yes. That was just barely, though. I didn't deserve that shot.
There was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses.
Dun, dun, dun.
That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The evidence I found in the trash can in the nurse's office was the glasses cleaning cloth.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean, and the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to
Oh, no.
school.
Yeah, I think the stream froze, but I'm gonna upload it to YouTube anyway. So that's fine-ish. I think so. Refresh. No, it's requested now. Yeah, there's maybe a gap in there on Twitch. Yeah, gap. It's fine. I'll put it on YouTube anyway. And I have the recording disabled probably, so it's fine.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Yes.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
No.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
True. That is true.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's body was Hifumi.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
Yes.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's
But
body to
why?
the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed.
Is the handwriting the same on the letter and on the blueprints?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
Right, gotcha. He ripped out of his hand. There's a... yeah. Gotcha.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
I'm very confused about his motivations for all this.
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
And how he died after that.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Please tell me there's like a little clip of that. Like Sakura saying, yes. Yes. His pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found the hole maybe we can use to escape. Welcome, I can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 AM.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 AM.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
Yes, it's the same one.
Not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro.
It was probably Taka, which is why he was found in the equipment room. That would make sense.
And that person could only have been...
Yeah, Taka.
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
No.
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Oh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, I can't let her get to me. Oh my god.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 AM, I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok! Huffy had the note, right?
Yes.
Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 AM, I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No!
Good first try. Good.
No! There absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 AM, which is the same time Taka was murdered. You've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that...
No further objections!
Good.
Then someone used that note to trick Taka, just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster, telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Which is why we have a ripped piece of paper, like a ripped corner of paper in Taka's hands.
He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Proof that Hifumi stole the note of Taka is the scrap of paper.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note...
On the same paper.
They're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository, so he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
That is a very small
During
time
that we
frame.
all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus! Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
Yes.
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Yeah, fuck you, Byakuya, but also you're kinda right.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue. So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Neither.
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
If you're strong enough.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The evidence was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow to find the truth. It's the worst moment. Well, let's put this hammer, yeah.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3?
No.
Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Maybe Justice Hammer 5. Justice Hammer
There's
6.
one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
Nope.
Shoot!
That's not a nice thing.
What was used to...
Was it maybe Justice? Well, there's one. How was the culprit? How did nobody... Sounds like a Justice Hammer! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice...
Nope.
What's wrong? The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
It was a different hammer.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder.
Murder.
If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used the hammer to kill him.
Yes.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but... I have to scan something, because none of this work.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us,
Even if more than one
I think I have
one
to
who
scan
actually-
Kyoko's
assuming the rule holds
weak
true.
spots.
That is.
But that only really in this case, however, there were two murders.
based on the rules that have even if more than one person is complicit in only the one who actually carried out the act can
Yes.
graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true.
Okay, there you go.
No,
Nice.
wrong.
Okay, we would chain like Hifumi wanted to get the black ends, but
Since
there's
there
no
were
kill
two
him.
murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward. benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka.
Which makes him the blackened. But then if he gets killed, obviously he can't be like void for the trial, which means the other person killed him easily blackened. So it works out perfectly fine.
They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents.
Yes.
And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer
It's all
designed
just
it
like
to work.
elaborate deception.
A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan.
I still feel like it's gonna be Celeste. Also, remember when, like, you won't watch this, so nobody will remember, way back a few chapters ago, Hifumi was like kind of getting like into a weird servant-master relationship with Celeste. Like Celeste sent him out to make like a very specific type of coffee. He was all into it, and so she could have convinced him. I feel like.
And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning.
Yeah, but
Still, their choice of
you have to
accomplice
fuck off
seems
here, Byakuya.
odd.
The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyuko must have noticed the fact from the very beginning. Which is why she said to look at this as a series of character events, or entirely separate incidents. Kyuko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end, murdered him. Debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Celeste.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
Yes.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now.
Correct. You are the suspicious one.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying then is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Yes.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him,
But you already did, so...
that I would go within 10 feet of that shit from brains, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
Yes.
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What it is that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common. Encountering a suspicious individual. And the screaming.
I got it!
Well, yeah.
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it?
Yes.
The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Also, it explains why it explains the childish handwriting on the blueprints, which was probably Hifumi, and who made the suit, which is also Hifumi, because he was the one who involved like sculptures and shit. So there's that. So everything just fits into place now. Okay.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Sorry.
What the fuck?
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Yes.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? That was another inkjet sleep monster like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran up as soon as I screamed. He was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Yeah. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... You fooled me. He's in the nurse's office.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
I certainly was not expecting this. I know you mentioned that Hifumi we murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Yes, it was.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
You must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sound of us standing around fighting and confused. You're all going to die here. You're going to die just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed now. The entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead.
Right.
Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Because this last comment doesn't make sense. What is he alluding to? She could ignore that. She could ignore that Toko. What is Celeste's account? Let me check. It's just about disappeared, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna have to scan something.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said was...
No, shit.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively... We are going to die. Just like those guys died. And that is all.
And that's all it did. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Let me just scroll back
All
down
I
there.
said, they must really enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened. They
Shit.
must be positively
Still nothing.
elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die. Just like... And that is all.
And that's all it did.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be... We are all going to die here. We are going to die. Just like those...
There you go.
No, that's wrong. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall.
Yes.
So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right?
We can just like fake it.
So let's put the suit on, and then...
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you
Hifumi
offered
is just
up.
faking it.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations? If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is Hifumi is dragging the suspect away.
It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks she can prove that the way of people who was dragging the suspect away. Is this really possible? Okay.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight.
But the costume is so rigid you need to stand up straight.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that, because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
You totally can't bend the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
I'm trying to kill you. Who killed me? That's right, I remember that name. Yeah, that's true. Hiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Give everyone nicknames. Right, he said people's last names.
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
What?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. but he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celestia will give up, so then has to be something to make her accept it. Oh, never mind. I thought it was gonna be bullet time level. That's fine. Costume, handbooks, hammer, hero's message. What was hero's message? Chase. Oh, it's just that. I'm gonna have to scan something.
He was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is Celestia Ludenberg! God damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me, that's the only truth there is! Moron!
No way to contradict her.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
if there's one person here who might have that last name,
The
It would
e-handbook!
have to be you, Celeste.
Holy
You
shit!
haven't told anyone what your real...
how many times?
Kyoko is fucking reading minds here.
How long do you plan?
I'm not pretending. And since you have no way to contradict me,
No, that's wrong.
God damn it, Kyoko, you must need some
The
shit.
handbook.
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook, it has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything.
You know, actually, this is not how it's the case, it's just like, this is surprisingly a lot of more in this trial.
That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then, let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How did the killer could accomplish for this seduction? Is it food? No. Act 2. What time did the killer call the victim to the rec room? To the rec room? It is 1... Was it 1? Yeah. It was 1 AM. Then... Who was it that killed someone first? It was Hero. Yes. Put the suit on. Knock him out and stuff him in the robot just to set his password evidence. Use a certain item to do it. Camera. Yeah. Gotcha. Act 3. Taco arrives. There's 6. No, it doesn't reflect 6. Or is it? No, it's not 6. It's gonna be. That's wrong, by the way. Oh no, because it's sideways. Never mind, I'm an idiot. It's sideways. That's a bit always switch. Yeah. Just as Hammer was used to kill that what number was it? It was number 3, I think. Yeah, the camera was Library. He used something to fake the existence of Shadow Criminal. Into the library. Which just as Hammer was in the nurse's office when he was referring to the it was number 4. I can't like the one I skipped. No, it was just Hammer 2. Yeah. It's Hammer 2. Yeah. So he was that. And puts the body on the trolley. Or the dolly. Pushes it into the room. And then... Weapon like he used to make he was it was the mask. Yes. Okay.
Killer is
should be it.
You. Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And
God damn it. What is the first persuasion? I don't know what that is, but okay.
here's exactly what happened. Before anything, the killer
Okay.
Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hero. The murderous duo intended to pass Hero off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hero. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder.
Was it actually number 4? Never mind then. Oh, what did he use number 4? It's here. Was here, and then number 3 goes here.
Here's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2, and an injured Hifumi, to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository.
Yes.
That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Celeste.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
Why doesn't it? Didn't we always have this graphic? I don't think we did. It's been.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
And now she talks to act. Okay, that's interesting. Hey. That's me. Yeah. Way too many medals.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be?
Just get it away from
What's it
Akuma.
gonna be?
It's basically a formality at this point, but once again you're totally correct. The Blackened this time, the true hero who devised the whole sticking scene was Celestia Ludenberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. Guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Ifumi's inaptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Ifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit a murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty. Lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
And use... you know... I knew you'd feel that, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning me by name, but he was the one thing Hifumi and Takuma both super into. Does she mean... Is she talking about alter ego? Yes, she is. She's very much... What? What? What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop as usual. How sad.
In other words...
Then you're the one that stole it, right?
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had a meeting about how to dissuade, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually...
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What? Are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it.
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I found a new use for the digital camera. I take it you know what Taka drew earlier, and took pictures of it there. I did the pictures as soon as I showed it to Hirofumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
As for me...
Please, forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh,
He did.
As for me...
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then... It's hard for me to even say. He... abused me.
what?
And he took pictures. He said if I didn't do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
You know, that's not really Taka. Okay. That's a crime. An absolute crime. I mean, I knew he got a little crazy, but...
Say what?
I never imagined he was go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said it before in my life. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him.
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands.
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape, as he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean. Taka is going to try to kill you.
indeed.
And all so he can keep her to himself. Bastard! Bastard, 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 bastard!
Honestly.
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? She...
I swear I will save her!
Actually,
Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed with that a second thought. The effect that I had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem. You just cost me. Yeah, she's kinda an asshole, to put it mildly.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was the strange costume Hifumi's creation?
indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt too. All I asked him to do was to make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. Well, it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So, why did you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it.
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad that your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your ability to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dad? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. He really believes that? Of course, that wasn't all that was to it. As I explained to him, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, he would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that he believed it. It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical. I just mentioned the lie of the level of opponents. In fact, for me it's up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
so in the end,
So, you had planned to kill him all along. Well, of course. There would have been no pointer to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life be so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of a hunt. In that respect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
It's really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monaco offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But...
Well, all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little bitch!
Obviously that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hate it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little bitch!
I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And you wanna know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. Accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me...
And it was all for that dream. And... what was this dream of yours?
Isn't it wonderful?
to live in a European castle. A castle? And to get a handsome man from all the world to serve as my butlers slash bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy our every need. Once stepped into that, I would have been the perfect aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life, that was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Sure. Combined with my own winnings, more cool as $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I was right at the edge, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the winds. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, Bob. You were really able to kill your old friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That is a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of a sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it very terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. Plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I care for my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why I'm scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I don't feel better. Kill me however you like. But you know, I could never be reincarnated. By a choice then.
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey.
You just get executed again. So let's smile then. But she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And a weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills, kills!
You well done? Okay then, let's get rolling. The black can disturb the beast and must pay the price.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Oh god.
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Oh. What? See, up until the fire truck came in, I was about to say this was the most grounded / tamest one so far. But no, it's just weird. It's over. The third execution is over. So that is over. So let's go, my friends, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. I thought him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone could have got free of the regrets from the outside world, and some more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez. And here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're the one embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. It's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us? God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give me that rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key type object from Celeste?
Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer the question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What? Hey.
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh. How exciting.
Oh man, oh jeez, oh man, oh jeez. What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The monster wanted something to kill his body? What does it mean? Okay, things are kinda awkward. I think it's about time I get out of here.
Well?
Meanwhile, you guys can go and enjoy your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I do anything about it, of course.
See ya later!
See ya! Marco disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although, it wasn't all despair. It was one small hope. Hey, Kyoko. Welcome all eventually, but what's the key that Celeste gave you? Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
That means Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey.
I suppose sometimes it's easier to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As they approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey.
I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Why? Exactly, are you going alone?
So...
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still a risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please let me go. Standing here, arguing just going to the room as I should cross.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
Well
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are taller pushovers when you show a little backbone. God, can we just stop? I tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah.
So then...
We need to get into the locker. Kyoko took his last degree on her and unlocked the locker. As the lockers were open, we saw... Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I'd never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last cell of files soon. Might be as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please just wait a little longer. So, now we can officially say that the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but can we take a second? Let's view this opportunity. I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school? is that's why I wanted to come here with me.
However,
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? That just makes me even more worried.
what?
Worried? Like, what happened in the investigation this time? You disappeared and we didn't see you again. We have warning with an explanation. But you didn't do that.
Indeed.
It's so unnatural that they think I'm a mastermind spy, right? And you too. No. I mean, kinda. Maybe. A little bit. Hope not. I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me. Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's what I want you to tell me. I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then
That's fine.
fine, I tell you. I'll tell you by me disappearing and where I've been going. You see, my god, revelation time. What I heard from Kyoko was, well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I said I had to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for night time to come. When it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera monitoring it, and the storage closet there, way in the back. She said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could you really be right about this? It's just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. But there's a hidden door. The secret Kyoko told me about could really be hidden here. Well, I mean... After playing Dark Souls 1 and 2, I can spot an illusory wall. I have to. Illusory wall. She said it was way in the back of the storage closet. But I mean, seriously? Yeah, I think I placed my hand in the back of the storage closet. And suddenly, as if I were being yanked in. Kashunk! At the same time as I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. Boom. I had fallen through the back of the storage closet. It turned out, the back wall was just like a revolving door, and I made my way to the other side. Just like Yoko had said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the second floor, it's the same thing. So this is the secret room. But what's in here? Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing up. Nothing down. There's a bunch of files and what looks like volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Home Speak Academy student registry? It's the only thing in here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? I slipped the file into my hand, but before I had a chance to take a look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file and turned my attention to it. What's this? You must not leave. That's kind of weird. I could understand if it said like, I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. This strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before. Well, I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? A strange sound rang through my head. I felt like it was shaking my brain back and forth. And then, darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it had been. Ow. Apparently, something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull throbbing pain in my head proved that much, at least. What's in your desk? It's just normal desk with normal drawers. I wonder if there was something in there that I didn't check. Fuck. An empty bookshelf. Empty! Gone. It's all gone. The yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that's fallen on the floor. It's all gone? What does this mean? My brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room. Get some rest. My body was heavy with pain, my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back to my room. Somehow, I made it back to the first floor of the school. The further I walked, the more I felt. Things are getting blurry. I can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. After that... As if from a vast distance, I heard a sound. It was faint, but undeniable. A sound. It's coming from... the gym? As I desperately hauled my shaky frame towards the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. Krok, Dgah, Gogunk, Bogiach. What's going on? It can't be nothing. Hey, in the gym? What's going on? I didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sounds coming from inside me while only intensified that much more. Kacha, Bakiu, Hakaya, Hia, Paching, Bakia, Pradun, Shisha. Before me, there reached the battle beyond anything humanly possible. No, one side's not human, that's for sure, but regardless, I couldn't stop staring. I forgot to move, or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
The deal?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay. But you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Then could it be? The master of my spies? There's only 7 of us left, Jesus. Yes, let's save. Leon killed Sayaka. Murakawa killed Junko. Then Leon got executed. Then Mondo killed Chihiro. Then he got executed. Ifumi killed Taka, then Celeste killed Hifumi. Then she got executed. And that brings us up to now. The next morning, in the dining hall, the day after Celeste's case. So now there's only 5 of us here. That's the number of people we started with. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a day here. I saved the beginning of the chapter, so I could just come back here pretty much. Yeah, I'm tired. I was planning for this to be like a short, I know, 1 hour stream, but Jesus Christ, it's late. So yeah. Yeah, bye.